Zhu Yuan is the latest limited-time character in Zenless Zone Zero, capable of dishing out incredible damage faster than you can say overpowered. If you're looking to learn how Zhu Yuan's kit works, get some build ideas, and find some team comp suggestions, you've come to the right place. Let's get this started, shall we? Zhu Yuan thrives on stacking enhanced shot shells and unleashing them in her suppressive mode for massive damage. You can gain enhanced shot shells in a couple of ways. You can do a quick assist, dodge counter, EX special attack, chain attack, ultimate skill, assist follow-up via perfect assist, or the 4th or 5th hit of her normal attack. She can store up to 9 shot shells, which you can keep an eye on via the indicator just below her character icon at the top left corner of the screen. To use these bad boys, hold the basic attack button to enter suppressive mode. For context, Zhu Yuan operates in 2 attack modes, assault mode and suppressive mode. Assault mode is pretty much her default mode, and she can perform up to 5 consecutive attacks by pressing the basic attack button. But if you hold the basic attack button, she'll enter suppressive mode and do a different set of attack patterns. In suppressive mode, Zhu Yuan cycles through up to 3 sets of attacks as long as you hold the basic attack button. Each attack consumes a shot shell, converting her physical damage to ether damage and significantly boosting her enhanced basic attack damage. You can also use directional keys for dash attacks, letting her tumble in the direction you choose. If this video has been helpful so far, feel free to hit that like button. It helps the channel grow and keeps me from taking up knitting as a new hobby. Zhu Yuan's core skill enhances her enhanced basic attack damage and doubles its effectiveness when hitting stunned enemies. For optimal results, stun your targets before using her enhanced basic attack. This skill also provides a 30% crit rate boost for 10 seconds after using her EX special attack, chain attack, or ultimate skill. However, this buff is only active if you have a supporting character or someone from the Special Forces faction on your team. In the current patch, there is no character belonging to the same faction as Zhu Yuan. But the good news is that there are a couple of characters that complement her well. Nicole, for instance, is practically broken when paired with Zhu Yuan, especially if you have her at M6. Additionally, Zhu Yuan's core skill grants her 6 shot shell stacks, giving you a head start with extra ammo. As you level up her core skill, her crit damage or base attack will also increase, further boosting her damage potential. For drive discs, the 4-piece set of chaotic metal is perfect. It boosts ether damage by 10% and crit damage by 20%, and due to her playstyle, she can also stack the set's effect pretty quickly. For the remaining slots, go with the 2-piece woodpecker electro for an 8% crit rate bonus. This is especially useful if you don't have her signature weapon. Alternatively, you can opt for the 2-piece puffer electro for an 8% penetration ratio bonus or swing jazz for a 20% energy regen boost. For the disc main stats, choose crit rate or crit damage for the 4th disc drive slot. I recommend prioritizing crit damage, as her core passive lowers the crit rate requirement as long as your attack sequence is executed optimally. For the 5th slot, ether damage is the way to go. Alternatively, you can go with the attack percent or pen ratio stat as a temporary option. For the 6th slot, I would personally go with attack percent just to squeeze in more damage, but energy regen could also be a viable option too if you want to cast her EX special attack more often. For the substat, prioritize crit rate or crit damage, then attack percent followed by flat pen stats or flat attack stats. For the weapons options, the Riot Suppressor or Brimstone is the best out of the S-rank weapons. The Riot Suppressor, Zhu Yuan's signature weapon, is of course her best in slot. It boosts crit damage through stats and crit rate via its effect. Plus, it significantly improves her enhanced basic attack via its weapon effect. Brimstone is a good alternative and is slightly better than any other A-rank weapon. Although it has an attack percent boost for its weapon stat, the weapon effect is excellent and Zhu Yuan can stack its effect multiple times in a single rotation. For the A-rank options, Starlight Engine and Cannon Rotor are good options. These weapons are pretty competitive and could even outperform some S-rank weapons. Starlight Engine's damage output is slightly better than Cannon Rotor's if you can consistently trigger its weapon effect. On the other hand, Cannon Rotor's crit rate stat makes it easier to build Zhu Yuan without heavily relying on drive disc substats. Street Superstar is also pretty good, especially since Zhu Yuan's ult has high damage scaling. It's easy to maximize the weapon's stacks with a good chain attack rotation, particularly against boss monsters. The downside is that its damage output drops significantly if Zhu Yuan's ult isn't ready. For Bangboos, Resonaboo is the best fit for Zhu Yuan. Its mini black hole skill is excellent for grouping small enemies and helps trigger corruption more frequently. It also synergizes well with Nicole, who is Zhu Yuan's best complementary character. Butler is another option. It allows you to cast Zhu Yuan's EX special attack more frequently and gives you more flexibility in team composition, as you won't be restricted to 2 ether characters like with Resonaboo. For A-rank Bangboos, Devilboo is a solid choice, and it also helps to trigger the corruption anomaly more frequently. Other good options are Exploreboo and Avakaboo, which increase survivability in challenging content like Hollow Zero. For the skill priority, I would recommend prioritizing Zhu Yuan's skills in this order. To consistently deliver high damage with Zhu Yuan, prioritize her enhanced basic attack right after her core passive skill. The chain attack skill, on the other hand, boosts Zhu Yuan's ult and chain attack damage. Both of these skills scale impressively high, especially with buffs from characters like Nicole. Meanwhile, her ult is a beast with a massive 3500% damage multiplier at level 10. While you can't always rely on having her ult ready, chain attack is your go-to for consistent damage, especially when stunning enemies. EX special attack is not something you can do all the time, but it packs a slightly higher damage scaling than chain attacks. Plus, you'll need it to stack up those shot shells. On the other hand, you want to level up the dodge skill to increase Zhu Yuan's dash attack during suppressive mode. However, since you can only use this once or twice per 9 bullet charges, prioritize other skills first. Think of it as the cherry on top. Nice, but not essential. Lastly, you want to level up the assist skill to increase Zhu Yuan's damage during quick assist. Its damage scaling isn't high, and you'll likely use perfect assist more often with your stun character. So keep this as your lowest priority. Pulling some duplicates from the gacha system for Zhu Yuan gives her some pretty interesting effects. At Mindscape 1, Zhu Yuan gains the quick reload ability whenever you perform a chain attack or ultimate skill. It instantly gives you 6 more shot shells when you run out of ammo. In a situation where you don't have the EX special attack, those 6 extra shots can significantly increase your DPS. It also gives you the option to either use your EX skill or continue with suppressive mode during the short burst window of stunned enemies or Nicole's buff. It's a bit tricky to quantify the exact damage gain from this effect, but it's a fantastic quality of life upgrade that adds more flexibility to Zhu Yuan's playstyle. M2 amplifies the damage of enemies hit by Zhu Yuan's enhanced basic attack by 10% per hit. This effect can stack up to 5 times and lasts for 5 seconds. Assuming you have a full stack of shot shells, the remaining 4 shots will get a 50% damage boost. This gives you a decent DPS bump against boss monsters, although it can be challenging to achieve the full effect during Nicole's buff's short burst window. Additionally, it grants Zhu Yuan 10% reduced damage and improved resistance to interruption. Mindscape 3 and Mindscape 5 increase all skill levels by 2. In short, this simply means more damage. At M4, Zhu Yuan will ignore 25% of her target's ether resistance. This effect applies to both her enhanced basic attacks and the dash attack during suppressive mode. It should increase your DPS in most situations, even during the short burst window of stunned enemies and Nicole's buff. Lastly, M6 grants a special property to Zhu Yuan's EX special attack when you consume 12 enhanced shot shells. It works in tandem with M1, as you usually would only have a total of 9 shot shells. It reduces the energy cost by 30 and adds an extra 4-bullet ether buckshot, each dealing significant additional damage. Originally, her EX skill cost 60 energy, so this is a pretty substantial 50% reduction. The lower energy cost means you can use her powerful attacks more often and gather shot shells more quickly. Zhu Yuan's optimal team typically consists of a stun and a support character to maximize her damage output. Pairing her with Nicole can really take her damage output up a notch. Nicole provides a damage boost via her core passive skill and crit rate if you have her at M6. She's like Zhu Yuan's personal cheerleader. That is, if cheerleaders hold cannons instead of pom-poms. Equip Nicole with the Weeping Cradle, or the Vault W engine for even more damage boosting goodness. Other solid support characters include Lucy, Sukaku, and Rina. Rina can boost Zhu Yuan's damage by granting pen ratio, but as an S rank, she's not very easy to get. Sukaku can boost Zhu Yuan's attack, but she's really designed for Ice-type main DPS characters, so she pairs better with Ellen or future Ice DPS heroes. Still, if your character roster is limited, Sukaku can step in as Zhu Yuan's buffer. Lastly, Lucy could provide an attack boost for Zhu Yuan, and could provide off-field damage. At M4, she gets better at providing buffs, and at M6, her off-field damage can become really good. For the stun character, your current options are really only Coletta, Lycaon, and Ambi. Using Ambi as your stun character with Nicole on the team would have better synergy for all three characters if you're looking at their team passive buffs. However, Coletta and Lycaon are still excellent stun characters that can fill the daze meter pretty quickly. Having said all these, here are some of my team comp suggestions. If this video helped, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.